Clash of Clans is back at it again. Welcome back to the Clan War Leagues. This is Season 2. Welcome live from studio here in ESL. My name is Klaus, your host, and thank you so much for being here. Guys, we have some of the most stiff competition that you can imagine with one of the most legendary and epic war clans of all time. We have one Hive, but of course we're not going to be doing this alone. I do have one of the greatest co-casters of all time. We have Woody.
Oh, you are too kind, Klaus. Thank you very much, guys. Howdy, my name's Woody from 100 Thieves, and I'm very excited to be here today commentating the second season of the Clan War Leagues. It's now November. These clans have been competing for a month, and they've now moved up into Champions 3, the new bracket where One Hive is today going to be facing off against a Chinese clan, loosely translated as Living the Dream. These are some of the best clans with the most expert attackers, the most indestructible bases, but we're going to see which clan comes out on top at the end of the day.
That's right. We have, again, Living the Dream against One Hive. All of these clans in round one won their previous matchup. They're all winners. So it's going to be really, really interesting to see who can pull it off. Victory versus victory here to see who can come out on top. The top two clans at the end of this 7-day journey will be advanced to Champion League 2. And things get even harder up there. So I don't know about you, Woody, but I'm really, really excited. It's going to get even better as time goes on here.
I am super excited too, Klaus. And for those of you who are just joining us or just trying to figure out how Clan War Leagues work, here's how it goes. You guys have been playing Clan Wars for a long time now. They've been in the game for years at this point, but Clan War Leagues are a beast unto their own. Every month, your clan has an opportunity to roster 15 players to compete on a daily basis for an entire week against 7 other clans that are about the equal skill level as you. You get an opportunity to win stars through the wars, and you get 10 bonus stars for each war that you win. Now, when those 7 days are over, we count up the total number of stars, and the clans with the most up at the top get advanced into a higher league with even bigger prizes, and the clans at the bottom get demoted and just have to try harder next time, I guess, right, Klaus?
We don't want to talk about that part, though. That's the sad part. The fun part is we get to see some amazing attacks, and people are going to get promoted, and medals and hammers and all the amazing stuff that everybody's enjoying. Because hey, this is not just here in studio. You guys at home are able to be in the CWL as well in your own clan. But before we get into all that, I mean, you covered that really well, by the way. Like, that is the overall idea of CWL. But now, let's engage with you guys a little bit. If you go to the Clash of Clans Twitter, at Clash of Clans, we got a poll for you.
All right.
And if you want to answer that poll, you'll be entered in to win 2,000. Well, actually, that's kind of part of the question, isn't it? The question is, how many gems? How many gems should be rewarded to a lucky retweeter?
Oh, great question. I mean, during the last season, we were giving out gems left and right, 2,000 each time, but we figured, hey, maybe we can mix it up this time and change the amount of gems. And so you can choose on a poll between 1 gem, 1,000 gems, 2,000 gems, or 10,000 gems. Whatever you think the prize should be, go ahead and vote. And I guess after a day or so, we'll be able to announce the winner. But
who would vote for 1, though? Like, seriously.
I don't know.
That's the funny part. It's
who
like,
would do that?
Who would go? I mean,
I'm voting for 10,000. You get out there and vote for 10,000. If you retweet, 1 lucky retweeter will get those 10,000 gems, or that just 1 gem if that's what you guys vote for. I don't know. It's up to you.
It's entirely up to you. Do you want 1 gem or 10,000, or somewhere in between? It's a weird question, but I'm excited to see what people say, to be honest. I feel like we're going to have a lot of trolls, to be honest. But anyway, back to the Clan War Leagues. We have the overall look at how things are going right now. We have about an hour and a half left in round number 1. And of course, One Hive being oh so helpful for our entertainment's sake. They're holding as many live attacks as possible. So they only have 4 stars, against Living the Dream with their 28. But you can see there, you can read it for yourself, all of the different clans competing right now to try to take the win. And of course, again, we've said this before, it's not about fighting the other clan. Obviously, that's what it's about. But at the end, you're going to total up your total star count. So even if you're winning, you really should secure as many stars as you possibly can.
That's exactly right, Klaus. You never want to leave any stars on the table. We've got a great match today between One Hive and Living the Dream. Their placement today will help determine their rankings tomorrow, and ultimately at the end of the week, we're going to find out which ones end up on top. But enough yakety yak. Why don't we start to get into the action here? We've got 15 attackers here, and the number 15 player is going to be starting first. His name is Tricky. Let's see what he's got.
That's right, Tricky, a Town Hall 12. Mind you, every single base that we're going to be looking at here today is a Town Hall 12. We have Tricky coming in with a Lalo attack, and of course he's setting up his attack here at the beginning with some funneling. You're trying to kind of take out those outside distraction buildings so that you can ensure that your kill squad will go into the core, and that's what we're seeing here. Bowlers, Wizard, Giant. That 1 lucky Giant. You got this, bro. You're going to do great. And then, of course, we got the King, the Queen, everybody going into the core. But what do you think here? I mean, yeah, they're going straight for that Town Hall, but do you think this will be a 3-star attempt? Do you think One Hive's going to go for broke here?
Look, Weenie's got to be thinking that he's got an anti-3-star setup right now. He just gave away his Town Hall basically at the very beginning here. So Tricky says, you know what, I'll go ahead and take it. Sends in his heroes and starts a little bit of work here up at the top. He's going to try to get as much damage in against this CC as he possibly can, but as we see in there, a Lava Hound and a Baby Dragon, they've got a lot of hit points, and they're going to be pretty difficult to deal with here. I'm interested to see what Tricky has in store for us next to try to finish off that little pack.
Ouch. You know, you can see there that he accidentally threw down that poison spell where he intended to put down a haste spell. So I'm pretty sure he meant that poison spell for that Baby Dragon out there. So that is a bit of a misclick here. We'll see how he's able to adjust. But he has deployed his Lalo potion here. He actually pre-hasted the thing. But check it out. We have Electro Dragons and clone spells on the core. Looks like he cloned some balloons primarily.
It's a huge clone spell, getting lots of value there in the center. Unfortunately, they're kind of getting all sucked into the middle of that tornado trap. One of the newest traps introduced into the game. Looks like Tricky's going to be able to wipe out the left side of the space now using balloons and minions to clean up the rest of the attack, but that is clearly very far from being able to get the 3 stars that he was hoping for here. Lots of defenses still up over on the right side of the base, notably 3 air defenses. Great at taking out those balloons, lickety-split, and with that, Tricky's going to claim the 2nd star and just start working on percentage at this point, Klaus.
You know, I think he was coming in thinking, oh, I took out one sweeper, I'd come in from the backside and just clean this thing up with Lalo. So that's why he came in from the upper left-hand side. But because of that Baby Dragon and that unfortunate poison spell drop, that Queen also never went down, so that's unfortunate as well. He's going to walk away with this with only a 2-star, but that is the bare minimum. You don't want to walk away with only 1, and that explains why he snuck in and took out that Town Hall right at the beginning, grabbing that 2-star with the 50% there during the middle of the attack. He ends up
with a sexy 69%. Excellent job there. If he just gotten that Archer Queen down a little bit sooner, might have had a little bit more success with that raid, but nevertheless, got to be pretty happy. He is the number 15 attacker for this clan, so just whatever he can grab from his opponents, he's happy to do. And see, you can start off here with nice Town Hall takedown, Klaus. What are we looking at?
Well, we're looking at a Town Hall getting taken down and securing that 1-star. That's a safe play. That's a smart play. Plus also, if you're able to take out that entire section, you also get a sweeper, and those sweepers are death for a Lalo. If you get balloons stuck on the sweeper and they just never go anywhere, that's bad. So obviously, he saw that as well, and he thought, I can get really good value getting that Town Hall, securing that 1, possibly 2, and the sweeper.
And hey, Weenie's got to be pretty happy with that defense too. He didn't get 3-starred, and at the end of the war, we're going to have to count them all up. I don't think that Living the Dream has that many 3-stars yet, so that might be a successful defense for them, but we'll just have to see how things play out.
That's right. I saw that Living the Dream had a couple of 1-stars as well, so that gives One Hive, the legendary One Hive, a little bit of leeway. Remember, One Hive has been to 2 Champion War League finals. They're no stranger to competition, especially steep competition like this. So it's going to be really interesting to see how they're able to handle the stress. Unfortunately, we started this whole thing out with a misplacement of a single spell, which really seemed to throw the attack off. So let's see how Neon Waves is able to pull this out here with those Valkyries luring the CC, and now the Queen handling it.
Yeah, you got to imagine that that was intended to work a little bit differently, but nevertheless, looks like Neon Waves as well on a way to be able to grab those CC troops there in the center. Rage spell right on top of the Queen and the healers to try to keep her up as long as necessary to finish off these pups. Nice poison spell placement there. Does manage to grab a couple of them, but as you see now, those pups are doing their best to try to at least finish off 1 healer. Couldn't get the job done though, and it's Neon Waves' turn to switch to the miners. Another big mass attack that's going to be coming in from the One Hive player.
Remember, the blue flame down there at the bottom near the troops available section means that Neon Waves is going all in with a power potion for this attack, using max miners, max, well, everything. That's what power potion does. It's a good start, and definitely, as you said, perfect placement on that poison spell, really handling the Lava Hound's pups. And I think now the funnel is being established by that King for the deployment of possibly the miners in between here.
Yeah, it could be. It looks like a bit of a strange setup, though. The King has already gone down, and I'm pretty sure that Neon Waves is going to be cleared for this 2-star, but this is a pretty dangerous setup here, especially with that Eagle Artillery raining down fire on the remaining troops over here. It looks like the miners have locked on the Town Hall, though, and that is going to be the very first star for Neon Waves. Miners, of course, are going to be able to avoid that big Giga Bomb that explodes as soon as that max level Town Hall goes down.
One of the best things about the miners, they avoid the Giga Bomb. They also avoid being affected by the tornado trap. So it's definitely an advantage that these pro players see whenever they're using these miners, is they can avoid those key defenses But as you can see, that jump spell actually well placed here, getting that queen in, taking out that Eagle artillery. Unfortunately, there is a single Inferno that will take her down. Now the attack is all up to the miners. Now notice he also still has the Warden's ability, which he just used. Yep. He also has another heal, but there's a lot of base left on this. I mean, there's just a lot. And
there sure is.
Wizard Towers, those are like the #1 enemy for these little ground troops and things. So I think Neon Waves is definitely going to be aiming for as much percentage as possible going forward.
Yep, just trying to grab as many buildings as necessary, or as possible rather. Remember, at the end of this war, if there's a tie in stars, it's the destruction percentage that will determine the winner of the war. So every little building counts. OneHive has been in many close wars against many experienced clans before, and has actually quite recently seen an example of how that destruction percentage can be really important. Wiping out 2/3 of the base this time, though. Neon Waves with a good hit against their opponent, number 11, Ward from Living the Dream.
2 stars, 67%. This was the moment of truth here where we had that Town Hall go down, even though it was in the face of a Eagle artillery. Again, fortunately for the pre-planning, obviously, that jump spell going to help that queen get through, and the miners just being awesome, avoiding that Gigabomb. Great start. Great strategy. Gotta love the Queen Walk Miner. One of my favorites, actually.
Yeah, it's really safe. It's an easy way to just wipe out a good chunk of the base. There's sometimes when you can use it to get 3 stars, but more often than not, I've seen it just getting that safe 2 to start with. You know, Clan War Leagues is a lot different from the Clan Wars that we've been competing in the past and spectating, because these guys only have 1 attack each. You don't get a chance to scout these bases. You can't get anything figured out about them. You just got to go in as hard as you can and get as many stars as you can, and that often leads to safer attacks going for the 2 instead of trying to pick up all 3.
Absolutely. This CWL format, 1 attack, really, I think, changing the way a lot of clans are operating in wars here. But Scorpion here actually going in on the #1 base. He's number 13, going against #1. This base actually, it's a bit familiar. I think it's very similar to a base I've seen before. And that's always something to consider is, are you building your own bases? Are you copying them from clanmates or the internet? It's always something to consider. You know, if an attacker has seen a base before, you know, it might make it a little bit easier for that base to be 3-starred, knowing where all the traps are and such. So Scorpion making a quick 1-star here, taking out that Town Hall CC lure, and it looks like he'll actually be able to get the enemy queen, enemy king, both sweepers, and look at that, he's got Lalo ready to go here after this portion of the attack is done.
You know, you might be surprised to see all these town halls near the outside of the base, but the strategy there is that if you put your key defensive structures on opposite sides, you can see the Eagle artillery on the other side of the base there. It makes it a lot more difficult for the attacker to be able to wipe through and get that 100%. Clearly, Living the Dream knows what they're doing here in this base setup, trying to frustrate OneHive's attempt at 3 stars, and instead just kind of forcing them to go for 2. I gotta say though, if OneHive is successful in cleaning out 2 stars with every single attack, they will win this war. Living the Dream has used all 15 attacks already and earned 28 stars total. So it'll be up to OneHive to try to keep that average of 2 stars per attack up if they want to clinch victory.
That's right, 2 stars for 15 attacks will end up with 30, which is enough to win there. So good little, I think a good overview of what's going on there. Meanwhile, Scorpion throwing down balloons on this base and really making it cry as the Eagle artillery is dropped.
The base itself is crying.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, if you're getting attacked by OneHive, your base is crying every time. So that's what's happening. Are you making fun of me?
I mean, what does it look like when a base is crying? Do you see the tears just cascading off of the Archer Queen's face, just pouring down?
Yeah, absolutely. That's
well, we can see all those heroes in the center with little stars above their heads. They're knocked out and not doing a whole lot right now. Yeah, are they crying? She looks pretty sad. Her head hung in shame right now.
Well, hey, Scorpion did not quite grab this 3-star. Unfortunately, the balloons didn't make it to the final compartment there with the air defense. It will be a 60, well, obviously 68, but I think we'll be able to cross that 70% mark. And I believe, if my memory serves me right, that will be the best attack so far in the stream. And actually, like I said earlier, he's hitting #1. He's number 13 hitting #1. That's kind of impressive.
Yeah, that's what we call a hit up, going against a very tough base and doing a great job at it. Scorpion with the total damage of 70%, the highest so far in those 3 attacks that we've seen, and clearing out a big chunk. We'll see if they get even better. I have high hopes for OneHive to show us a 3-star at least at some point during this stream.
That's what I'd like to see as well. And here we go. We have the Wall Wrecker with Valkyries in tow on their way toward that Town Hall, grabbing that cheddar, that first star. We absolutely want to see that. That is a huge part of what I'm seeing as the meta for all these major clans. Grabbing that 2-star as early as possible. Of course, you have to get the 50% for the 2-star, but you can get 99% 1-stars. It's the worst. So get your Town Hall.
It's happened to me.
Put it in
it's
your
quite
pocket.
terrible. Yeah. Get that Town Hall first. Go for the safe hit, especially when all eyes are on you, when the whole world's eyes are watching you on the Clash of Clans Clan War League's live stream. You better perform at your very best. Next up, we got Chubbs moving in from One Hive. You like how I combine Chubbs with One Hive there?
Yeah, yeah.
Chives at the end.
One Chives. Okay.
Yeah. Against number 20 defender from Living the Dream, Starboy.
Starboy, yes, yes. Chubbs coming in with yet another, it's a kill squad. I mean, you get to Wall Wrecker, grabbing that Town Hall. That is, I think, the 4th attack in a row where they're doing that. They're really being safe with these attacks, making sure they get that Town Hall. But also, the ability to kind of make a notch out of these bases so that you can possibly send in a full-scale attack around this base. You know, it's easier to keep your troops funneled in together if their path is narrow. So you're seeing these guys, they're really trying to dive in deep, cut out a portion of this base. That way their entry point for the Lalo is nice and tight.
I am just terrified to watch the development of these attacks, and especially trying to move in against these bases, which are pretty much maxed out. I mean, look at all those huge, bright and shiny walls around this base, but who cares about walls when you got Hog Riders? They jump straight over them, and it's going to be a movement in from the right side now that the CC has been finished up with, and those heroes are down. Just going to try to keep them alive as long as possible with these heal spells. Fortunately, grabbed a pretty good heal position out there on the right side, but golly, these giant bombs are oppressive.
Yeah, there were at least 2 in that first compartment, plus a bomb tower.
Yeah, look at those. Oh, yeah, plus a bomb tower. You're
plus
right.
A bomb tower, and then a 3rd giant bomb. So it's as if number 20 was expecting this type of attack. It's like, you know what? He was thinking, I'm going to put down all of my traps to stop a hog attack. And I did actually make a mistake saying this was Lalo earlier, but it was hog attack. The whole geometry thing is the same. You do want to cut a slice out before you deploy your hogs either way. But it definitely looks like the defender was expecting this type of attack, running into a death pit. That's a death pit right there, and it's brutal.
A brutal death pit. Unfortunately for Chubbs, it's going to mean 2 stars. But hey, once again, like we said earlier, safe attacks that grab the 2 stars and then lead into a 3-star opportunity are the safest and cleanest way to be able to pick up the wins in Clan War Leagues. And once again, grabbing 2 stars, it's not a disappointment. You know, it's not out of this world, but it's not sad. I like 2 stars.
Yeah, 2 stars are what wins wars in CWL. Now, you can see here that the kill squad, again, getting into that Town Hall, being very selective, trying to grab, obviously, as many percentage points as possible, but also getting the objectives into that core is the main objective there. Grabbing that Town Hall, heroes, clan castle, sweepers, air defenses, Inferno Tower, Eagle Artillery. The list goes on. There's a lot of things you
I
should get
can't help but think that Chubbs might have gotten a little bit more value out of the wall wrecker in that last push. As you just saw, whenever the wall wrecker hits the Town Hall, it automatically pops out all the CC troops right in there. And the wall wrecker has a lot of hit points. You usually kind of want to try to use it as a tank. I'm sure that Chubbs was going for that safe and easy Town Hall kill that time, but I've seen other attackers do some pretty interesting trickery with those wall wreckers and the battle blimps. And let's see if we've got something coming up next time. Who's going to be attacking, Klaus?
Gotta love that One Hive animation there. Cass is up right here against number 13, and it's actually quite a different approach here. Look at how far away this wall wrecker deployment is from that Town Hall. And by the way, the previous attack had like a Wi-Fi issue at the end. It was a grand total of 62%. For those of you that were worried about that back at home and in the chat. So now that we're here, Kill Squad coming on in. Interestingly, I don't think he's going for the Town Hall in this one. I think he's really trying to get the Clan Castle, trying to get that enemy queen.
That's beautiful placement of that poison, though. Grabs the enemy queen and the CC, right?
Yeah, that was an excellent deployment of the poison for sure. It definitely did a lot with it. He also got a sweeper. Now, it would be ideal if that queen can get in there and get that eagle, but that's asking a lot, I think. Ooh, look at that, actually. Earthquake spell. I kind of missed it, but I sort of saw it. Earthquake spell used to pop the Giga Tesla so that the balloons will target it right off.
Gotcha. So that Giga Tesla pops up as soon as 50% overall damage has been dealt, or whenever the Town Hall takes damage. It's really important to try to get it activated because that is what is going to allow your balloons to be able to lock straight onto them. You see a Troll Tesla right there in the right side corner that was able to draw the balloons back a little bit further, and without the balloons in there to be able to wipe these buildings out, these poor lava hounds are getting shreked I think that this is going to be clean to get that 1 star from the Town Hall, and ought to be able to grab the 50% as well, but Cass is losing a lot of balloons really quickly here, Klaus.
Yeah, that's right. And notice that this epic parade of air targeting skeleton traps just hammering away at these balloons, that is going to completely stunt the attack into the core. And, you know, obviously, if you don't get the core, you don't get the 3-star, but after a couple of percentage here, he's going to get the 2, which is good. That's the bare minimum. That's what we want. Now we want as many percentage points as possible going forward in the unlikely event of some sort of tie.
Almost max level defenses from Living the Dream here, making it very difficult for One Hive to get those stars, but once again, 2 have been locked down. Lots of troops spread out here trying to clip away as many of those outside buildings as they can. Like you said, percentage is very important, but what I'm left thinking with this attack, though, is that if that Eagle artillery had gone down, it would be a lot easier to crush that upper and right side of this base. Might have been able to grab a few more percentage points there. What's the sort of thing that you can do with your hero charge to try to make that happen, to give it a little bit more oomph? Do you spend more spells there? Do you try to put different troops in the wall wrecker? What do you do, Klaus?
There's a lot of things that you can do, but I think that I've seen a lot of people trickle a few bowlers in behind that wall wrecker. That seems to be a really popular way of kind of pumping up that kill squad. Also, obviously, you can throw in more rage spells, you can throw in more heal spells, whatever it is to keep those troops alive to get into the core. But the language that the One Hive guys use is it's an investment. Like, you have to invest. They use very technical terms in these attacks, and sometimes they don't think it's worth it. They think it's too much value or too much cost for the value that they'd get out of it. So these guys, I mean, they're planning for hours. I was really encouraged actually hearing these guys are planning these attacks since like yesterday. So really incredible to even hear.
Takes a lot of planning, but Cass with a 65 alive on this base. We're going to check out this right side deploy, taking out this Town Hall. Great timing on the Grand Warden ability. They had already lost both of the Lava Hounds on the right side at this point, but the balloons needed no more help. They're invincible when they have that Grand Warden aura protecting them, and that's what Cass used to get the first star there and cleaned up quite a bit on the top side of the base for the 65% total.
I have to admit, I got a little bit scared. The Town Hall, it was like the Warden's ability was like almost over, and the Town Hall went down. I was like, it was hard on my heart. You know,
you got to ride the cutting edge on these attacks. Though, if you use that ability a second too early or even a second too late, you can either miss out on the great value that you ought to be getting from it, or just not even have anything that you're using it on if those troops die a little bit too easily.
That's right. It's always better to use that ability of any kind too early than too late. That's absolutely sure. Oh, look at that. We got the Electron. That's a fancy attack right there. How many clone spells was that? Was that 2? Was that 3?
I didn't quite catch it. Yeah, at least 2, I think. Using them on those balloons right there in the center to try to wipe out as many defensive structures as possible. This Electro Dragon kind of went in a weird direction, though. I almost expected it to go toward that Archer Queen and try to help out to finish her off, but no dice, and looks like the baby has actually killed the Electro Dragon this time. That's going to spell a little bit of difficulty for Pain Rain now, the number 10 attack for One Hive, moving in on the top.
Man, I've seen that attack before where there's just a few cloned Electro Dragons and it literally just blows the base apart. That time, I don't know what happened. I don't know if maybe a couple of spells were off. I don't know if just really bad luck. Maybe the Queen was a little too far away for the Electro Dragons to target the Queen. I don't know. It was an odd thing to see, but he still has 3 Hounds. He's got like 25, 28 balloons left, so this attack is far from over. Let's see what he's got going.
Absolutely. We're going to have a clean 2-star here is what it's looking like. Pain Rain with a bit of an awkward deploy over in the bottom right of that base, not grabbing the Electro Dragon in the clone spell is going to still leave a lot of this base left to be destroyed. A couple of weird Tesla placements, drawing those balloons in and kind of clumping them up, causing a little bit more trouble for Pain Rain here. Nevertheless, that left side of the base is ready to be wiped out. A few cleanup troops over there. You still see minions and wizards in tow ready to be deployed. Pain Rain's got a big force in this bottom side of the base, but Archer Queen, Air Sweepers, I mean, Eagle Artillery, there is so much to finish these things off. It's just going to be a matter of time and a matter of percentage for Pain Rain.
Pro tip, if you put your haste spells on your balloons, if they go on through the haste spell, they'll still be hasted after they're outside the radius of the haste spell for 2 seconds. Oh. So these guys actually keep that in mind. They actually put their haste spells a little further on the outside of the base than I would, because they know they'll be hasted a little further than you would expect. So just a pro tip for those of you at home trying to emulate these attacks here.
Yeah. And it was a great hit. I think it's actually the best that we've seen so far at 77 and still growing in percentage. Pain Rain has got a great assault here on the number 3 defender from Living the Dream. Now at 80%, you gotta be happy about that. 4/5 of that base wiped out, Klaus. What could Pain Rain have done differently to be able to grab the key defensive core in the center there.
You know, I think that possibly the blimp was popped a little early. That might have been what happened. I mean, I'm no expert on Electron. Electron's like a new thing. You know, it takes a while to get used to those kind of things. But I think that you can choose to pop your blimp early or late. I think that might have been the case. Popped just a half a second too early. The Electro Dragons were too far outside the base and didn't get to the enemy queen, and that was kind of the kill for that.
Well,
attack.
I only saw one Electro Dragon in there. I'm not sure whether or not any of them got cloned to begin with. But here you can see up at the top that 1-star going down thanks to the Archer Queen, one of the heaviest attackers going up against one of the burliest defenses of this base. Pain Rain using that Royal Cloak ability to make sure that at least 1 star has been claimed.
That's right, and like we said, that was the best attack so far with the 80%. So that's a fantastic attack, actually. We would like to see those 3 stars, but like we said earlier, the overall idea here is beat the clan that you're against, and all One Hive has to do is get 2 stars on everything to win, so they're going with that safe 2-star. Now, if the opponents were doing 3-star attacks over and over again, we'd probably see like a lot more risky attacks and these YOLO attacks where they're really going for it. They're really trying to get the triples. The safe 2 stars are going to win this one for them if they keep it up.
Absolutely. I'm taking a quick look over at the season standings right now, and I do see a few clans, actually half of the clans are north of that 30-star mark. So at least some of them are going for 3 stars in this war. Jelio is going to be the next attacker from One Hive, though, the number 9 attacker. And we're checking this live replay out now as Jelio goes in against number 12. This might be a 3-star attempt. What do you think, Klaus?
Well, I think a Queen Walk Miner is absolutely capable of the 3-star. I mean, you look at that attack strategy, and if it's well executed, if you can take out the key objectives, the enemy queen, the enemy clan castle, potentially a couple of Infernos at the Town Hall, or some of those big hitters that you mentioned earlier, Woody, you can do a really good job with some Queen Walk Miner. So that's what we're seeing here, guys. We're seeing Queen Walk, Poison Spell on the Lava Hound Baby Dragon, which notice, that's the main enemy CC that we're seeing is Lava Hound Baby Dragon. So for those of you at home, another pro tip, probably should copy what they're doing and put some Lava Hound Baby Dragon in your CC.
It's an excellent combo. It's a lot of hit points and a decent bit of damage with that Baby Dragon, especially if she's able to splash onto something. That Lava Hound, of course, explodes into lava pups afterwards, making it very difficult for any point targeting attackers to be able to take them down. Very distracting, just eating up time, essentially, and that's what the CC is best at doing. Archer Queen does drill into the top left side of this base, though, and finishes off the enemy Archer Queen. Very nice start here for Jelio in attacking. Nice clump of miners toward the top of the base there, and you can see a heal spell going down to try to keep a few of them alive. Not many yet on that Tesla, though. It looks like still the biggest clump of them is on the outer ring of the base there, going for the mortar and the bomb tower right now.
Oof, unfortunately, he had to use his Warden's ability a bit early. I was actually looking and hoping that the Warden would bounce over to the Queen and help her, because she was getting pummeled there at that point of the attack. But unfortunately, you got to use your Warden's ability before it's too late. The main force of this attack being the miners, keep as many of them alive as possible. Like we said earlier,
no.
It's a lot better to use your ability early rather than late.
Get out of there, Grand Warden! No! Oh. The Inferno Tower burns him up, and with that, the hopes that Jelio was hanging on to of trying to get the 3-star here. That single target Inferno has a lot to be afraid of when 20 miners are digging straight toward it, but that Grand Warden just wandered barely within range, and without him, those miners are going to be going down a lot easier. That life aura from the Grand Warden is very helpful at keeping them on task. Now, it's not over yet, but it's looking pretty dicey here for Jelio. Still just one healer on the outside trying to keep these miners up, and unfortunately, the Expo's locking onto her, meaning that she's not going to be able to get that job done very well anymore.
Oh, man. Yeah, that was it. When that Grand Warden went down, that was the nail in the coffin for the 3-star on this base. Now, I was hopeful. I was thinking, okay, maybe these healers will survive and the miners will just keep on going. But I feel as if the healers hadn't have gone down, we still would have had a time issue. So, unfortunate, but hey, 82%. That's the best percent we've seen so far. Things are getting better as we go, guys. Hopefully we have that wonderful 3-star here at one point or another. And I'm also super interested in what strategy that will be.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see, but let's take a look real quick at that Town Hall going down. Tesla's surrounding it, trying to provide as much defense in kind of a sneaky, tricky way here. Grand Warden's life aura ability going off there to keep those miners active as long as possible. And you see they just barely managed to get that Town Hall down before the rest on the outer edge of the base could finish off those defensive structures. Bit early with that Grand Warden ability, but hey, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. Clearing out as many defensive structures as possible, very important in that last hit. But Jelio with the 82%, it's the best we've seen so far.
That's right, and unfortunately that Warden I have a problem with my Warden almost every time I use him. So I get it. You know, sometimes he just goes off and flutters to somewhere else when he really needs to be focusing on the task at hand. So, but we're back. We have another attack. And ooh, this looks like a familiar name, Woody.
Yeah, NeZaX. He's in one hive. He was also here last month competing with the Dark Looters, but he placed a really deep Archer Queen right there almost inside the base to try to get these defensive troops lured out and nuke as many of these structures as possible. Great placement on that rage spell, able to keep her right inside there, as well as those healers, keeping her nice and healthy. Wow, and she's still just riding the very edge. No, barely walks outside the rage. Still ought to have very little difficulty taking this town hall down, and maybe buying a little bit of time is good for the queen after all.
That's right. Now NeZaX here, fun fact, he was playing for Dark Looters a couple of weeks ago actually, but he is a native One Hive player. They actually, Dark Looters actually contacted him and said, hey, you wanna play with us? And he was like, sure. So it's kind of interesting. It's awesome because he is the one and only player to have ever played in 2 CWL studio streams.
Look at everything happening right now, though. Both sides of this attack, we've got a Barbarian King on the bottom right trying to nuke as many of those outer buildings. Archer Queen up the top just used her Royal Cloak ability to defeat the enemy Archer Queen. Still has a few skeletons to deal with, but she's quite healthy and lots of healers to help her out. She's still going places here. I'm telling you, Klaus, there's a lot of miners still left here in the center, finishing off these interior buildings, and this is actually looking like it might be the first time that we're getting close to a 3-star. NeZaX, with a minute 34 left, has got quite a few miners there in the center. It's just going to be a matter of whether or not he can get rid of that Inferno Tower.
You know, the highlight of this attack, although incredible that it may be, there's a Lava Hound chasing the Grand Warden the entire attack. He doesn't care. He doesn't care. He only cared when another defense locked onto him, but that was funny. The Lava Hound really did nothing in this attack.
I think he's got it. The balloon is able to soak the damage from the Inferno Tower there.
There we go. That's going to be, I mean, dude, yeah, seriously, that's going to be the 3-star. The last defense goes down with 60 seconds left on the clock. Do you think he's going to get it? I'm pretty confident he's going to get it.
I think you're right about that one, Klaus. Well done to NeZaX, the first 3-star that we've seen so far in this war. 100% destruction, and that is what makes me go crazy. I love seeing these really intricate attacks, really like forking across the left and right side of the base, drilling down the center with the Grand Warden, doing everything he can to get as much value as possible out of those troops and spells, and that's what it takes to get the hundo. Show me what we got here, Klaus.
Well, we got a Queen Walk leading into that Town Hall, and of course, like you were saying, she got so much value over there, taking out the Town Hall, getting the enemy heroes. Meanwhile, King at the bottom, creating the funnel, miners in through the middle, and then, hey, look, this random wall wrecker with Valkyries coming in from the side.
Nicely done. Valkyries are great once they get into the center of the base. They're not too good when they're on the outside having to chop through walls, but that wall wrecker is able to get a great entry point for them. And with that swinging ability, they can take out a lot of stuff all around them, finding that kind of ideal spot in between 3 or 4 different buildings, or maybe able to go after the enemy Archer Queen. Makes them very, very useful, and nicely done, NeZaX. 3 stars is a great way to put your clan in the lead with 18, now 21 total, in fact, and 5 attacks left. All you need is to get an average of, what is that? I don't know, like 1.7 stars per attack, and that should be easy for One Hive.
Yeah. I was about to say, you know, I think that at this point we just need to sit back and enjoy the geniusness of the attacks, because they're securing the 2-star. They're smart. They're doing what they need to do, but they're also gunning for those 3 stars. They're gunning for the highest percentage that they can possibly gun for, and that brings us to JC. JC hitting number 10 here. He actually sent in, again, we have that Electrone attack with the Electro Dragon in a blimp, dropping with some clone spells, gutting a section of the base. We have 1/4 of the base left, and he still has an entire Lalo portion of the attack left. So it's looking good so far, but as we've learned, Lalo attacks can go from 60 to 0 really fast.
Yeah, exactly. They can be shot out of the sky if you're not paying attention. With that single target Inferno locking on to that first Lava Hound, it's going to be a bit difficult for JC here to get what he's looking for. Still has another couple Lava Hounds, though, and there we see a defensive Lava Hound in the clan castle. They're going to try to cause a little bit of trouble for this Archer Queen. Of course, he can't do that much damage himself, but Big Daddy Lava Hound is able to keep her distracted and keep her bow off of enemy defenses. Now, nevertheless, this is actually looking quite good. I think the last Lava Hound did just pop Klaus, but that's still a lot of balloons left for a single target Inferno.
And even better, the Grand Warden's Eternal Tome is still alive.
Beautiful.
Perfect timing. That's going to actually soak up a Seeking Ermine and wipe out some of the most dangerous defenses to balloons all at once, guys. This is looking like possibly our second 3-star in a row.
Well, Klaus, when it rains, it pours. We just saw our first 3-star from NeZaX, and JC said, all right, you want to see another 3-star, Woody? Klaus, take a look at this, drawing in a huge amount of troops still left in this attack, but showing us a different mode this time, going in with the aerial assault and finally claiming 3 stars. That lava loon push has been very popular in the past. We saw a lot of it last month, but it hadn't yet gotten the 3 stars here. Once again, though, you finally get an opportunity here to see a beautiful hit. JC got the work done.
It's good to see a 3-star with a clone spell. You know, it's one of those spells that I think you only use if you really know how to use it, but you don't want to try because it's hard. So that proves that it can absolutely be successful by throwing down a clone spell on an Electro Dragon and just watching the base get blown up. It was absolutely amazing. JC with the second 3-star of the day, and this was that moment right after where the Electro Dragons did their due, and then of course getting that Town Hall to secure that that 1-star just in case things don't go quite right. But it absolutely went right for JC here in grabbing that triple.
Pulverizing those defenses with that early hero attack, and with plenty of troops remaining. Got to give it to JC. Very happy about his performance there. And with only 4 attacks left, the One Hive clan actually only needs 5 stars at this point to pull ahead of Living the Dream. They're going to be going in next with Eric, the number 6 attacker from One Hive.
And they could actually get 4 stars because they potentially might have more percentage. But
okay.
yeah, we want a safe win.
Yeah.
We want a 10-star win. We don't want a tie with a percentage. So we're in with yet another attack here, a Tunnel 12v12 attempt. We have Eric going in against number 4, and it's a Queen Walk Lalo. I like how they're bringing some variations, but they're sticking with the fundamentals. That Lalo, obviously grabbing that Town Hall. We beat the drum on that one for sure. Grab that Town Hall. Don't forget that is your number 1 priority in these attacks in CWL for those of you at home. Unfortunate that I think it was a baby dragon that triggered that Seeking Air Mine, and then it just kind of hovered all the way to the healer. That's not fair. That shouldn't even be allowed.
I don't think so either, but hey, that's how the cookie crumbles. Seeking Air Mine getting activated by that baby dragon. Baby dragon dies, and the Seeking Air Mine says, well, what am I going to seek next? Went straight for that healer, and it's going to give Eric a little bit of trouble with this Queen Walk up at the top of the base. Grand Warden giving her a little bit of help there, but getting a bit dicey, forcing out that Royal Cloak ability from her to keep her healthy.
Oh.
But look out, there's a huge giant bomb taking out all of the wall breakers on the top left side of the base. That could spell doom for Eric's Queen Walk up here. She's still alive, but struggling. And with that Eagle Artillery raining down hellfire on the Barbarian King, I'm starting to feel a little bit concerned about this hit.
You know, I don't say it very often, but the Queen was brilliant there because she didn't. Yeah, she generally doesn't do what you want. Everyone at home can relate to that. I definitely can as well. But hey.
Just barely goes down a bit too soon. Those healers not within that rage spell. Means that she did take out the baby dragon, so that was one of the key targets of the CC to be able to finish off there, but still a lot left here for these Lava Loon attackers to try to deal with here. Battle Blint moving in as well, and it's going to drop some balloons from it. But yeah, this is looking like a 2-star to me. Klaus, what do you think?
Man, you know, I was actually about to say the Queen was brilliant. She went in where the wall breakers failed. She did good. But that rage spell, unfortunately, I think it was a luck issue in that point. The rage spell was just a little off to keep that Queen alive and dealing with the CC. If she had gone through the CC, it would have been smooth sailing to take out some of the key defenses, the enemy Queen, Eagle Artillery, maybe even both sweepers, an Inferno, and this attack would have went way differently than it has so far. We have actually a sweeper. This is what we were talking about earlier, by the way. The sweeper is kind of blowing the balloons around. The attack goes absolutely nowhere when the balloons are set on reverse. You don't blow stuff up if you're going in reverse. That's just against the rules of Clan Wars.
Caution, strong wins on this battlefield. Eric with 74%, now 75. It's taken out 3/4 of this base. A great hit, and actually, as far as the 2-stars go, one of the best 2-star hits that we've seen so far today. But Eric having a little bit of trouble with the Queen Walk over on the left side, I think, might have lost out on his chance to be able to claim 3 from this defender.
You know, Eric going right after 2 3-stars, I bet he felt the pressure on that. Even though he is at home, he's able to relax a little bit and be in his zone. I'm sure he was still feeling the pressure, and that might be what we saw there. 77% 2-star, still good, but not quite the golden egg that we're all watching for.
And it's got to be said that these players are going up against tougher and tougher opponents each time. That was actually the number 4 defender from the opposing clan Living the Dream. So Eric with a clean hit here is just trying to seal the deal and grab the victory for his clan. One Hive just with a few more stars needed to be able to clinch that win on the very top here. You can see that Seeking Airmine trying to make its way.
Pesky Seeking Airmine. That's what I was saying. That's not fair, man. That baby dragon should have had that, not the healers. That could have been the moment. That was unlucky. That's what I'm saying. Like, these attacks, you're like walking on the line, and one little thing goes off, and you're off. It's just incredible how incredibly tactical and strategic these attacks can really be.
And that's why sometimes they use the coconut loon to try to take out the Seeking Air Mines to draw their fire out and find something else for them to lock onto. But a healer going down is certainly not any good news for anyone using a Queen Walk. There you go. And that's coconut loon grabbing a Seeking Air Mine right off the bat.
We got multiple coconut loons that time. It's probably for taking out the Archer Tower at the same time. But hey, soaking up a Seeking Air Mine, that's always a plus for them coconut loons. We have actually Sam Forever going up against KC Pin, and this is actually replay. Unfortunately, Sam had to attack before the stream, but hey, you know, I don't even know the results of the attack. I just hit the replay quick, so it's kind of like watching it live, right?
Yeah, same for me. We got a Lava Loon hit coming in here, but it's emphasis on the Loon. We got 39 of them still left for Sam to use. Just one Lava Hound with a Battle Blimp to provide a little bit more air cover up top. Archer Queen going to try to take out this air defense and probably go for that Town Hall right afterwards, thanking her hubby, the Barbarian King, there for nuking those outside buildings and giving her a nice in toward the base there.
Oh yeah, she was absolutely perfectly funneled for. She's going to grab this Town Hall, likely with her ability. Yep, there it is. The ability goes off. She's going to get that 1 star. Again, safe 1 star. And now that La Lune portion of the attack is going to begin here. Queen will not survive through that Lava Hound balloon that's coming out of the CC there. What's his plan here? I mean, a baby dragon will just utterly dominate a La Lune. So what does he have? He does have a couple of skeleton spells. That won't help for a baby dragon either.
No.
He has a poison spell that he threw over. That, well, do we need to poison the grass?
Threw away the poison spell.
Was that really necessary, Sam?
Come on.
Come on,
draw
man.
attention. The poor guy has had enough trouble. It looks like he's got some lava pups out here trying to finish off what remains of this defending CC. Minions as well in tow, trying to get a little bit of work done here. This definitely looks like a 2-star to me. That 1st star claimed as the Town Hall went down. Set up Sam pretty well here, but clearly 3 is going to be out of reach unless something miraculous happens. There's just a lot of balloons, but multi-targeting Infernos, Wizard Towers, there's still a lot left to shoot these down.
Did you see that balloons, the section of balloons got caught up in the tornado trap and still destroyed the defense that they were going towards? That's awesome to see, where sometimes the tornado trap can actually turn the attack around, or at least turn the balloons around and take out a key defense. I think, you know what's interesting?
What's that?
Yes, we have a baby dragon, we have a bunch of pups, we have a queen following these balloons around.
Okay.
But had this gone a little bit differently, he had so many balloons, there's no way he wouldn't have tripled his base.
Oh yeah, just a little bit differently. Especially, yeah, you're right. If the queen and the CT troops had been finished off, that would have given these loons a lot easier time. It was just a little bit left on this top right side of the base that was able to stifle the rest of this attack from being able to finish it off. But look at that. We got another really high percentage 2-star already at 70% and might be able to grab another building or 2 out here on the edges.
That's right. And actually, I got encouraged there for a minute. I'm like, go, pups, go. But this baby dragon, man, savage. That's the one. That's the word I want to use to describe this baby dragon. Savage. I mean, it took so much damage. So many troops tried to take it down. And it was like, nah, I got this. I'm taking you down. And that was the case. 72% 2-star. Great defense. Sam Forever with actually a good 2-star. That's a good percentage.
Yeah.
But not quite that triple.
Well, nicely done. I have a feeling that we're going to see a few more good attacks left from one hive. We actually still have 3 left in tow. But let's take one more quick look at the beginning of that assault from Sam Forever up in the top left, that Queen Walk. Making it into the compartment there so that she can target that Town Hall. Great placement on the walls, by the way, by the defender there, KC Penn, trying to keep any nasty queens out from being able to get to the Town Hall. But level 60 Queen is not going to be denied that time with the ability going off right at the end, able to finish off the Town Hall for the 1st star.
Unfortunate for him, but hey, you know what? It's starting to look like the competition is pretty fierce up here in the Champion League. It's good to see that these bases, I mean, they're trolling us. They're trolling the attackers. They're trolling me as I watch them. Like, yeah, this is what I would do. Nope, I would have been completely thrown off. So if you want to steal some bases, by the way, go back, take a snapshot, because these are some of the best that I've seen in a while. Now, we're actually into the 2nd of 2. There's only 2 people who could not attack live during the stream. This is Indicut, and again, I did not look at the, I don't know how this one goes either, so I guess
hey, don't worry about it.
Watch and see.
Exactly, Indicut's using another mass miner strategy here in from the bottom right side. Archer Queen picking off a few of these buildings and luring that CC out. The CC is pretty close into the center of the base there, but with a nice placement of that poison spell and with a good rage as well on top. Indicut has an early lead getting into the space. Now, masked miners can get kind of a bit of trouble if they run into some giant bombs or get hung up on a bomb tower or anything like that. But it's a good start so far. We'll see how it continues here, Klaus.
Yeah, it looks like he is going with this particular attack strategy here because there was an easy access to the Town Hall and an easy access to the enemy clan castle. I mean, that Queen Walk can get all the way in there, do all of these without any help. So it's kind of like a natural, I would say like a natural entry point for that Queen Walk, and probably why Indicut chose to go with this attack strategy. Also, he had a blimp with some balloons, kind of clearing up the defenses left of the Queen. King on the right, creating the funnel with some wizards, and oh, that lovely, lovely line of miners. Hard to look at. Sometimes it's hard to tell how many are there. But all you have to do is watch and see how quickly your buildings are going down. Yep, giant bomb.
Ouch. Giant bomb's going off, but yeah, we do have free spell to help these attackers out. They're now taking their shovels straight to that Eagle artillery, and with the Queen helping them out, that should be enough to take it down. Queen's about to get finished off, and still quite a few miners here up on the top and top left sections of the base, but it looks like there's just a bit too much on the defense to be able to claim the 3-star here. I don't want to call it too soon here, Klaus, but with no spells left and only a couple of balloons to help these miners, I think the Indicut is running into a little bit of trouble.
Yes, that's what I would agree with there. The miners just didn't have the longevity in that attack to make it through the entire base. I mean, yeah, over 2/3 of the base is down. That is pretty good. I would say anything nearing 70% would kind of be like the minimum these guys are looking for, and at 68, that's pretty darn close.
Nice hit there. One Hive has got 3 more attacks left to get 3 more stars. If they manage to get just 1 from each of these remaining hits, they will be able to clinch victory over living the dream here. We're going to take a real quick look at the highlight from that last attack. Town Hall going down quite early in this push. That Tesla was causing a little bit of trouble for those balloons early on, and I think that might have been what Indicut didn't expect, and something that kind of gave a little bit of trouble for those miners early on.
Troll Teslas. That's one of the easiest things you could do is try to put your Teslas in a place that will just drive the attacker nuts. And since they only get 1 try on your base, you kind of have a free reign on their attacking, on their mind. So it's fun. It's fun to watch attackers react from Troll Teslas, and a really good way to mess people up.
You wouldn't believe where he put his Teslas this time.
And it's always in the worst place imaginable. That's the funny part. Now back to the attacks. We have Alex86 gets number 6. Another one of those kill squad attacks. We have a funnel being established on left and right. This one is a live attack, by the way, for those of you at home. We have the Wall Wrecker making their way and breaking through and letting go the Valkyries. And they're all at home. Well, we're not at home. We're here watching.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
And I'm just as surprised as they are, by the way. Anyway, Warden's ability, freeze, poison, jump, great value going in to this ground kill squad here. Notice he has Lalo ready to go after this portion of the attack is executed.
Yeah, I love that jump spell placement, able to keep those heroes on task, jumping over a ton of walls there in the center of the base, but it's the big, heavy lava balloon push that's going to be the biggest thrust of this attack now. Alex86 over on the right side, going to take some damage from an air mine there, exploding onto some of those balloons, and unfortunately they're a little bit behind the curve, not having any lava hounds to help them out anymore. The center of that base still has quite a few defenses left. You can see 2 air defenses in separate compartments over on the left side, going to make it quite difficult to grab that 3-star now, but Alex86 won't be denied that easily. He still has another heal spell left, and I imagine he'll probably use them right over that wizard tower that can provide a lot of threatening firepower to take down those balloons, Puffs.
Yeah, if that single targeting Inferno goes down, then there's maybe no, there's not. I mean, look, there's an air defense on this side, right? So there's no way the balloons are going to make it. There's just no way. The Queen has like 6 health. She's not going to be able to make it either. So this is looking like it's probably going to be, let me see, it's probably going to be like, what, like an 80, 85%? A good attack. We've been seeing a lot of those. We've been seeing a lot of good attacks, but, you know, we want to see more of them 3-stars. This one's not going to be one of them. Look, that 6 HP didn't hold up, but hey, she got a bomb tower. That's an extra percentage point. It all counts. It all adds up over time, you know?
Yeah, maybe even 2. Well, with another gold storage uncontested in the bottom left and elixir storage in the top right, that ought to be something upward of mid-high 80s anyways. These minions have a little bit longer to go, but not being able to see quite the end of that attack. We'll report what that final percentage is pretty shortly here.
I still haven't figured that out because I get that on my own device. It's like, is that their Wi-Fi or is that mine? Because mine's usually pretty good, but hey, what can you do, right? So yeah, we'll report on the percentage of that soon, as soon as the attack's over. And the attack's over. How did we do? Hold on.
That looks like an 88%.
Yeah, there you go. 88%,
hitter.
that's a solid percent, actually. Solid percent. Now the kill squad going in, I love seeing those Valkyries under rage. Check this out. Valkyries not only doing extra damage under rage, but also moving faster under rage. So it just gets, it's just so fun to watch. One of the most enjoyable things, in my opinion, to watch in Clash of Clans, Raged Valkyries.
You love seeing those ladies swing as hard and fast as they can, and you know what I do too, Klaus? I'm right there with you. Stick them right in a wall wrecker, and they will go absolute ham on a base. Nice early start with the Queen and the Barbarian King to be able to take out that Town Hall and as many defenses as possible leading into that La Lune push. What do you want to see next, Klaus? You want to see another La Lune? You want to see mass miners? You want to see something completely different?
I'm up for anything, whatever they think is best. I mean, obviously I do enjoy a miner push here, but notice that the score on the right-hand side, we have 28-28, so we're tied up. We're all tied up right now. Level 8 Pidgey grabs that 1 star, and that's the war for them. Of course, they're not just competing against the clan that they're competing against. They're competing against every clan, so they want as many stars as possible. Level 8 Pidgey going against number 5 with the miners. I think miners are probably one of the most fun things to watch. You asked me, I think I'm going to change my mind, miners.
Okay, well, good, because we've got the mass miner hit coming in right now. And yeah, as you noted, there is a tendency to kind of focus in on the single war that you're fighting right now. Of course, you want to beat your opponents. In this case, the defending Chinese clan, loosely translated as living the dream. If you get more stars than them, then you get a bonus amount of stars, 10 to help you out in the later count to figure out who wins the league overall. But the league overall doesn't really care if you just win every war. You got to be able to get as many stars as possible. And so with One Hive now clinching victory with the 50% whenever they get it against this attack, they're going to be trying to capitalize on as many additional stars as they can on top.
Level 8 Pidgey with a fantastic Queen Walk heading in. He's going to be able to get the Baby Dragon and the Hound pops. Now the big question is, will that the Lava Hound or the pups all go down before he's able to get his miners in? I mean, it doesn't really matter. Miners can probably just go on, but you don't want to underestimate the pups. They can really grind down your troops. So excellently done. Pidgey takes out the Lava Hounds and the pups and the X-Bows. I would love to see that Queen get that Eagle Artillery, but I don't think it's going to happen.
That Archer Queen has evolved. She is super effective against those defenses, and the level 8 Pidgey has been able to nuke a huge compartment at the bottom of the base. Now, it would be really nice if that Archer Queen could somehow make it toward that Eagle Artillery, but looking pretty unlikely at this point. The cannon locking onto her is going to finish her off just a bit too soon. Nevertheless, that right-side attack is still looking quite clean. Our miners are making their way toward the Inferno Tower, the Wizard Tower. Lots of defenses over on that right-side compartment getting nuked pretty quickly. As soon as we see that Grand Warden ability go off, we'll know that level 8 Pidgey now is moving in pretty close to the Town Hall here. Unfortunately, not all those miners in the Life War right now. They will be able to grab that Town Hall for the 2-star victory, but Pidgey looks a bit short for 3, Klaus.
Yeah, looks like they ran into just too much. I would say just too much is the word to describe. The miners really got stunted here in this section where you see these long compartments really forcing the miners to go along a specific path, riddled with defenses. You see 3 giant bombs all in one little spot. Even a heal spell, I'm not sure, would be able to defend against that. So this base definitely built to defend against that. And do we have one miner that's about to try to, I don't know if we have time, but I mean, I would love to see at least the Clan Castle go down. Come on, buddy. Come on.
Hey, no one's fighting against him. Just give him a chance. He's got a big old shovel right there, whacking as hard as he can against the Clan Castle.
Come on.
Get it. One more hit.
Yes.
One more. What's he burying underground for? He's already right next to the Eagle. Whatever.
That's what I like. That's what I like. That Clan Castle goes down. We ended up with that 69% 2-star. I would have loved to see that Eagle go down, but the ending was great. That miner, yeah, that was great.
Level 8 Pidgey's going to fly back home and find his next prey. But yeah, we're seeing a quick look back at one of the crucial moments from this early attack here. The Grand Warden trying to keep those miners alive as long as possible to finish off this Giga Tesla. Great thing about miners, like you mentioned earlier, is that they bury underground right as soon as that Town Hall goes down. Giga Tesla bomb not doing any damage to them whatsoever.
They have a lot of advantages, but obviously are not a 1-troop 3-star. You've got to have everything right. And if one little thing goes wrong, the attack goes wrong. So that's kind of, again, what I find so incredibly amazing about the bases that they're hitting is that they're not easy and that the attackers are still able to get 3 stars. Even better. Oh, and I love that one hive animation. I'm just going to bring attention to that right now.
Okay.
It's beautiful. So with the final attack of the war, actually, we have the number 1, Kimmy, going up against number 8 with what it looks like another Lalo. And that town hall is actually on the opposite side. I was like, where's the town hall? That was confusing there for a second. But he did get the clan castle pulled out.
Yeah,
so
that's
that's
top left. Kimmy, the queen bee of 1 hive, now at the number 1 position, will be facing off against the number 8 defender, trying to grab as many stars once again as possible, starting off with a little bit of a poke over in the top right compartments there, and we're going to go back over to the left side now to see this town hall go down as we lead into another really heavy lava loon attack, this time with 3 lava hounds. What's the decision-making factor there when you're deciding how many lava hounds to bring, Klaus?
I think the easy rule of thumb, but of course there's nothing super easy about a strategy or attacks like this, is how many air defenses does the base have when you start deploying Laloon? So like for instance, if you have 3 air defenses up, you might want to bring 3 lava hounds.
Okay.
If there's only 2, you might want to bring just 2. But as you can see, that isn't even the case in this one. There's 2 air defenses up, and he brought 3. So, you know, these guys, the Laloon experts, maybe can attest to that a little bit more. We might actually have more information on that for possibly even next stream tomorrow or thereafter.
That Archer Queen getting a lot of damage on these balloons, but fortunately for them, able to drop right onto the air sweeper next to the Archer Queen. They kill her in the process and give Kimmy a little bit more of a chance to break into this base. The 47, 48, 49 percentage. We're getting really close to the 2-star here, Klaus, and with it clutched, Kimmy's hoping to try to get to 3, but unfortunately all those balloons clumped together is going to make it difficult for them to get the job done.
With that sweeper especially, I mean, if he had like 1 more rage spell or 1 more haste even, it might be doable here. But with that sweeper, yeah, they might clear this entire section, but they probably won't. Wow, they all died out so fast. The Eagle Artillery and the Wizard Tower are a deadly combination. Unfortunate for Kimmy. You know, it would be amazing actually if this Grand Warden pulled it off, but not even he's going to get it done.
Yep. That last Wizard Tower up at the top, providing just enough defense for this number 8 defender to hold on to that 3rd star. Eagle Artillery still in the center there as well, as you noted. And I got to wonder, what's the number 1 thing? When you're setting up a lava loon push, what's the number 1 thing that you know you have to finish off if you're going to get 3 stars? What's the thing you got to kill early to make that happen, Klaus?
You have to get the queen. All right, absolutely, you have to get the queen. And if you, in the process, can get that town hall, or a sweeper, or air defenses, or the eagle, or infernos, all of those are helpful as well. And hey, if you can get all those, Laloon will be easy. But yeah, the queen, absolutely number 1 priority if you're going to be trying a Laloon attack. And oh look, haha, I'm going to call these winions. Even if we're going to run out of time, the eagle will not drop. These are definitely not minions, they're winions in my book.
Okay. Winions claiming the 83% there for Kimmy. The last attack from 1 hive, finishing off the day with a great lead over Living the Dream. I think that the total count there is 32-28, Klaus. Can we finalize that and report the victor?
I think we may, but we don't want to skip this crucial part, that poison spell, allowing that baby dragon to get dropped before the heroes went down in that town hall, grabbing him the 1-star.
Kimmy getting that early 1-star there, and she's using those heroes on the outside of the base to clean up as many defensive structures as possible. But once again, they only can go for so long, and choosing to use 3 lava hounds there left Kimmy without any healers to keep the Archer Queen alive a little bit longer. Unfortunately, when there's just not that many targets on the edge of the base for them to go after, the Archer Queen doesn't get a whole lot of value, and with that, you got to focus on the bigger, beefier units to make the most of that attack.
That's right. You always want to try to get as many percentages as possible. Even if something goes wrong, just go on with the attack. Sometimes things might go according to plan. That's life. This Clash, it all works the same thing. Just keep on chugging. Get as many percentages, as many stars as possible. How about 3 stars? 4 stars one day. But right now, I think most of these were 2 stars actually. But I want to see right now the overall idea of what's going on in the CWL. Look at the standings. Again, there are 1 hive and 7 more clans. And as you can see here, now the war is not quite over yet, but you can see that things are really tight. I mean, first place, the Whoop Whoop. One of my favorite names, by the way, in that group. You can say it, go ahead.
In the number 1 spot, we've got the Whoop Whoop.
There you go.
In the number 2, really long clan name. I don't know. We'll figure out these names later on. But yeah, you can see 1 hive there at the number 4 spot with 32 stars, having won their war. They'll be up at the top half here. of the standings. We got another 6 days of competition as they will be facing off against these other Champion League 3 teams. I'm really curious to see which one of them is going to be the first to take down One Hive, because I figure it's got to happen at some point during this league, right? Or do you think One Hive is going to remain undefeated the whole week, Klaus? What do you think?
Well, ideally, yeah. I mean, we want to see the MVP. We want to see them destroy. We want to see them do well. But it looks like the competition is pretty steep, and that's exciting.
Yeah.
You know, we want to see steep attacks. We don't want to see them roll. I mean, they want to roll over everybody.
Really close attacks, you mean, right?
Yeah.
You're saying steep, and they're very difficult bases to overcome, but very close results overall as well. And it's getting dark.
Why is it getting dark?
I'm not quite sure. I hope that the power is still on somewhere, but nevertheless, we will cast from the dark. Whoa! It's bright again. I was about to grab my phone and try to illuminate, but nevertheless, let's take a quick look at the MVP. Klaus, who is it?
The MVP of the war, one of the 3-star grabbers, is JC. We have the replay up here, guys. The 3-star, I think this was the second 3-star that we had in the entire war. Now, something to remember is 3-starring bases is not easy. These are fresh hits, and JC made it look easy. And what I love about this, look at this. Oh, man. Clone. What is it called? Electrone. There you go. The cloned Electro Dragon, the Electrone, getting a ton of value out of that. And then following up the attack with what we have the heroes diving into that Town Hall. Sticking to the basics. We have fundamentals to stick to, people. But you throw around some clone spells onto some Electro Dragons and balloons. Hey, it's fun. It's really fun to watch.
It certainly is, Klaus. Early hits up on the top side of this base, able to finish off that Town Hall, and a huge chunk out of the center, getting into that chewy nougat core of the defender here. JC with a great early start, was able to follow up expertly. You see still another Lava Hound in tow, ready to be deployed as soon as these troops over on the right side of the base start to loop around. JC moving in once again. It's like the man walks on water. Look, he's got everything he needs, and they multiply by the dozens. So many balloons still left toward the end of this raid that these defenses didn't stand a chance. And I think notably, a great spread of these troops. A lot of times you see these balloons kind of start to clump toward the end of an attack, but able to kind of fan out and just like branch out and destroy as many defenses as possible. Was able to keep them alive longer. Yeah, that's like the ideal positioning for a Lava Hound. If
you want a 3-star Lalo,
like a flower blooming,
you like this.
Yeah,
that's all you got to do. Just do like that.
Jazz hands.
That's what he did, and it was a 3-star. Now, something to consider actually is he had his main force, and he kept adding to it too. So it was like this. You're right, actually. Just everything coming together and working in unison to take out the defenses within the spells. That way, they get a lot of value in the spells.
Right.
And at the end of the day, I'm pretty sure he ended up with more balloons than when he started with.
He's multiplying. Beware.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
The balloons cannot be stopped.
We need to figure out the secret from JC, because I'm pretty sure that was like 50 or 60 balloons at the end of that attack. Incredible MVP. Shout out once again to MVP. JC.
JC.
Amazing. Well done.
Shout his name from the rooftops.
Shout his name from the rooftops. Now, once again, One Hive taking the victory, 32-28. It was so good I had to repeat. 32-28.
So I had to repeat it too. Shout his name from the rooftop. Wait, I don't even remember what I said at this point. Anyways, all right, so that's the attack. That's the MVP. We've had a great event so far, but we had a poll at the beginning, right? Should we loop back around to that? Is that what's coming up next?
We actually have a second poll.
Oh. Should we close out the first poll? Should we remind them about that, or is that not necessary at this point?
First poll, then second poll, just in case.
Okay, sounds good. Well, the first poll, as you remember from the beginning of tonight, was a question for you. We've been giving out gems each time we do a Twitter poll, and we've just been trying to figure out how many gems we should give out. So we thought that we'd ask you guys, how many gems should be rewarded to a lucky retweeter? And the 4 options that you can choose from there are 1 gem, 1,000 gems, 2,000 gems, or 10,000 gems. So go ahead and decide. And whatever you guys decide, we'll just give it away.
Like I said, why would anybody pick 1 gem?
Giving out all these gems.
Just go vote 10,000 gems, people. Just do it. Free will included.
Everyone at Supercell's going to be voting 1 gem. They're not trying to give these away easily.
Right.
You, me. So, hey, if you want those 10K, you better go out and vote now. And retweet if you want a chance to win, too.
Oh, yeah, of course. You got to retweet. You got to spread the love a little bit on there on the Twitter, @ClashOfClans.
Tell your friends to vote for 10K also.
And there's also a second poll. So if you vote that and you want to keep voting, then we got a second poll, and that
Democracy,
second
great.
poll is, and it's also a really good one, which troop discount event would you like to see next?
I like it.
In game, sometimes you have cheap troops. You can, train them up for like 10% of the value or whatever. Which one should it be of these? We have Witch, we have Miner, we have Lava Hound, or we have Valkyrie. And I want to vote for all four, but you can't. So vote for one of those. Which event would you guys like to see next? And I'm really desperately interested in seeing what Woody would vote for, actually.
We have a vote for Lava Hound. Vote for Lava Hound. Guys, do it.
And I'm just hearing right now in my ear that in first place right now, at 72%, people are voting for 10,000 gems. So it's good to hear. It's not over yet, though, unless my ear tells me that it's over. But yeah, make sure you can go out and vote. It sounds like it's going to be 10,000 gems. So if that's what you wanted, then good luck. The 28% of you who didn't vote for 10,000 gems, I'd be really interested in hearing why. Please leave a comment on that poll and let us know why you didn't vote for 10,000 gems as well.
Please tell me.
Let me know in chat.
Would never understand.
Where is chat? Is
why
chat over
somebody-
here or is it down here? Let me know in chat why you think it shouldn't be 10,000 gems. I'd be really curious. Maybe I'll retweet the best answer.
The whispers are telling me that, and if I heard the number right, Woody's so loud I can barely hear, but 56% have voted for Valkyries. So
okay.
36. 36? Yes.
Nice.
36. So, hey, there's 4 options. If it was equal, it'd be 25. So Valkyries have the majority so far. 36%. If you love Valkyries, go support your Valkyries. If you don't love them, go vote for something else. It's a good choice, though. Valkyries were a really good choice. It's true. Oh, I'm sorry, Hounds. He wants Hounds.
Okay, well, I think we're going to go ahead and start to wrap up here now with a little bit of analysis on the rest of the week and what you can expect if you tune in the days to come. We've got 6 more days of competition in store for you guys. The One Hive clan has emerged victorious this first time, but they've got 6 more clans that they're going to be facing off against. And who is it going to be tomorrow, Klaus? Can you let us know on that?
But yes, I had the next replay queued up, but I'll do it for you. Just the next opponent actually got 28 stars today, if it's all said and done. So they currently have 28 stars. They have a little bit of time left, I think, in the matchup. So we'll see. Are they going to bring it hard against One Hive tomorrow, or One Hive going to get the job done? We will see. We'll just call that clan 70 for now until somebody translates that for us. Thank you, guys. Thank you, production. And yeah, it's gonna be a good time. Now we have a fun thing to check out, and that is we have some honorable mentions. I mean, we have the MVP, and that was JC. Right. And we want to see JC do well, but we have other players that did well. As well. Did well as well. And
press on.
The name.
Carry on. You got this.
The name of that individual is Pain Rain, which made the pain rain. Oh man, I love it.
Come on now.
This wasn't one of the 3 stars though. That wasn't one of the 3 stars. But still, we can learn a lot from fails, all right? And not that I want to call an 80% 2-star.
I learned a lot from you, Klaus.
Oh, yeah, you better. Keep it up, bro. Keep it up. So this was another one of those where he threw down a blimp with an Electro Dragon, threw out a lot of clone spells. And like we were saying earlier, I believe, and I still believe this after seeing it a second time, that possibly that battle blimp was popped slightly too early. That's what I think happened here. Just one little half a second too soon, and this attack went downhill. But not only did he continue persevering, but he still pulled off an awesome 80% attack. So let's see what happens here. The King and the Queen actually setting up that funnel. Queen should actually handle that baby dragon pretty well. And King creating the funnel out on the left-hand side. Town Hall going down soon.
Sure did. Archer Queen popping right into that little corridor there and getting her work off. It's great to use the heroes like that. You know, I really do prefer to see a Queen walk, if I'm completely honest. I like that long legs on the Queen, able to tear down a lot of buildings along one side of the base. But nevertheless, if all you're looking for is the Town Hall, sometimes it makes sense to just go for the Town Hall. What are the circumstances, though, Klaus? Maybe you can tell me when you would want to go for a Queen walk over just trying to snipe a Town Hall like that.
Well, each healer is 14 troop spaces. So if you're going to bring 4, that's 48. If you want to bring 5, that's 48 plus 14. And that's a lot. That's a lot of investment.
Even more than 48.
Is it? 14, 28, 56. Haha.
I could see the numbers floating
I tried
right now.
Klaus math fail in the chat right now, but either way, it's a big investment. That's the point, all right?
Yes.
It's a big investment. You only want to use Queen Walk if you absolutely are guaranteed to get a lot of value out of that Queen Walk. Taking out the CC Queen, maybe if you can get an air defense or two, Eagle Artillery, Inferno, as much as possible, if we're all honest. Take out as much as you can with that Queen Walk. Because it's quite the investment. And that's the words that these One Hive guys are using. They're using words like investments, and they're using words like value because they see it as just a big, I don't know how they see it, to be honest. It's a little advanced, but they look at it like that.
But yeah, when they look at a base, they don't see building, Archer Queen, a Barbarian King. They see the different avenues that they can attack it from. They were giving us some tips about some of the bases that they were constructing and telling us why they would place things in a certain spot. It's like they know that they're going to be hit with maybe a kill squad, probably coming in from, the 3 o'clock or the 12 o'clock or whatever, and they tried to structure their base so that it can't be demolished, so that the key defenses cannot be wiped out with one single push in there. And we saw that quite a few times on defense. I don't know if you guys are going to get a chance to see every single defense that One Hive was able to put together, but there's some great base design. And as a result, the better you can design bases, the better you can deconstruct them too. So I'm interested in learning a little bit more about that, Klaus. What do you think?
And that's actually something that's coming up very, very soon. I was able to hop onto voice with one of the members of One Hive, and we're going to be able to show you guys one of their bases. But before we go into showing you guys one of their bases and talk you through the main points of what makes that base successful on defense, we got to see the attack that he put off in this war.
Sure.
One of the other 3 stars, actually. His name is NeZaX. And again, he was one of 2 3-stars in this war. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. And a beautiful miner attack. So I've got the replay up, and let's break it down for you because this attack was incredible. This was actually one of those where you have a Queen Walk. You were just asking when do you want to use a Queen Walk? Well, in this attack.
Okay. What is it about this base that makes you want to use a Queen Walk?
Well, I don't know, honestly. I mean, yeah, I can see based on what he did that you can have an early Clan Castle lure. So there you go. CC is out. And you can actually see the radius there. So that one little balloon pulled out that baby dragon. There's a hound in there. That hound is inconsequential against a set of miners, so you don't have to worry about that. Queen Walk's going to get the CC. Queen Walk's going to get the Town Hall, several key defenses like Wizard Towers and things if you're using, miners or Lava Loon. Both of them hate Wizard Towers, but also both of the heroes, or actually all 3 of the heroes. So you're just getting a ton of value out of that Queen Walk. And then down below, King with some wizards, creating the funnel, and then the beautiful set of miners going into this core with some wall wreckers coming from the side. I like this wall wrecker from the side, by the way. I feel like it's just brilliant distraction. I don't know if that was really the point. I think it might have been just the lay that wall wrecker is going to go toward the town hall. I'm not sure. Yeah. But what I do see is Valkyries coming out of that wall wrecker, and that's always a good thing, I think.
That is always a good thing, especially when they're deep inside the base and have a lot of targets to hit. I'll provide my own little 2 cents on the Queen Walk thing up there on the top. I think that you typically, or what I typically think of when I'm looking for a Queen Walk is a lot of buildings that are just inside the base that are kind of out of range, that something like an Archer Queen with a really long range and a significant reach can get into. You're seeing NeZaX here able to claim, what was that? I can't remember if it was the first 3-star of the day or the second, but nevertheless, grabbing 3, probably due in large part to this Queen, able to clear out like a third of the base, the entire left chunk, and still going strong at full health now with those healers to help out. And excellent timing at the balloon. I think that the balloon timing was really crucial here for NeZaX. Yeah, able to keep that Archer Queen up until the very, very end there. Because the Inferno Tower locking onto the balloons instead of the Archer Queen was very helpful for her. Nevertheless, though, it's still quite a few miners here at the end, and I don't think that this Lava Hound's going to be able to do very much to stop them.
I also think the Grand Warden just sitting there getting hit by the Lava Hound the entire attack was kind of the clutch moment for that as well.
Poor guy.
But NeZaX just really made that base just fall down, just collapse for that 3-star. It was a beautiful attack for NeZaX. Definitely an honorable mention aside the MVP here today. And it's always good to kind of, what do you want to put the bow on it, see the best of the best during all of those attacks here today. It was a good time, and not only that, but we saw a great variety of attacks. We saw miners, La Lune, those are the main 2, of course, but the miners being immune to the tornado trap of the Giga Tesla, the La Lune avoiding all of the ground targeting traps and defenses. I mean, these guys know what they're doing. They're going after it with every advantage they can get. so that they can win. And they did.
It's true. That's what they're trying to do. And that breakdown was almost as excellent as NeZaX's breakdown of that base. But speaking of NeZaX and bases, have you got something to show me, Klaus? I want to see one of these bases. I want it to be burnt. I want to know what to build. I want to see exactly what we're looking for. Show me, please.
I want it to be burnt. It's true.
Yes.
It's true. This base, if you build this base exactly, then everybody else that saw this stream will know where the traps are, and you'll be able to be 3-star. But what I want you guys to take from this is where the minds are of the base builders. What are they doing exactly to make these bases strong so that we can apply those principles to our very own bases? So this is NeZaX's base.
Yeah.
And it is, well, I mean, what are some of the obvious things that you're seeing here?
Well, I'm seeing a lot of storages on the outside. Those are high hit point structures that can keep attacking units distracted for a long time. I'm also noticing the Eagle artillery on the opposite end of the town hall, really helping keep both of those key structures up as long as possible. Archer Queen, of course, right next to the clan castle in the center of the base, making it very difficult to lure either of them out. They can both cause a lot of trouble for any sort of attackers. So those are the key things that I'm noticing. What do you have to say about it, Klaus?
What I have to say is a list of notes. I actually talked to him on voice, and he was just rattling off all this brilliant geniusness, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to write as much of this down as possible. So I'm going to try to relay this to you guys. What Woody was saying was, and spoken well, was that the Town Hall and the Eagle Artillery is separate, so that you can't get both of those at the very same time and with some sort of kill squad. Also, same thing with the Queen. You want to keep all that stuff separated. You don't want to put the Queen and the Town Hall and the Clan Castle and the Eagle Artillery all in one spot. Keep those things spread out. And also, same with the Inferno Towers. So you can see that these bases that you're seeing here on the screen, pretty much all the bases that we saw today kind of follow that same mindset of we don't want to give them too much value with a single kill squad. But also some basic stuff that I think we all can learn from is notice that we have the air defense, we have the Seeking Air Mine sitting next to the air defense in every case. There's an air defense.
Now, why would that be, Klaus? Let's dig a little bit deeper.
I'm assuming because Lava Hounds have a lot of health.
That's right. They like to go straight toward the air defense, and the Seeking Air Mine, you want to get as much value as you possibly can from it. It deals a lot of damage, so if it just hits something small like a balloon, it's kind of wasted, to be completely honest. But with the Lava Hounds going straight beeline, pardon the one hive pun there, to the air defenses, there's a really good chance of that Seeking Air Mine being able to lock on directly onto that Lava Hound and get a ton of value.
A couple of other key facts, guys. We have the Wizard Towers away from the air defenses because you don't want your Wizard Towers hitting your Hounds, right? You want the Wizard Towers to hit the balloons that are following the Hounds. So keep those things separate. We also have giant bombs and 2 regular bombs sitting on the outside because they have plenty of damage to take out a witch in a bow witch attack. So that's very key. There's several of those little golden nuggets out here. Look, it's like a giant bomb with some, obviously you have troll Teslas out there as well. I think I've only hit like 5 out of 50 things I wrote down, but we'll try to get through them. Non-lurable CC, that's huge actually. We're gonna stop on that one. Non-lurable CC. Do not let your clan castle get easily lured by something. That's key, because if they don't get that lure, your clan castle troops are going to wreck, and it's awesome to watch.
Yeah, it's not pretty when the CC troops are able to stand and annihilate your troops during the entire attack. But well said. The rest of those points, you're just going to have to tune in next time to figure out what makes these bases so hard to crack. And once again, as we said, NeZaX gave this base away as a love letter to the Clash of Clans community. So I'm pretty sure you'll see it on Twitter or maybe even on YouTube or something pretty soon. But you're welcome to rebuild it and use it for yourself, as long as you think that it's going to get value. Because if it gets on this stream, you can be pretty sure that people are going to find out a way to crack it. But nevertheless, those lessons are very important if you're building your own bases and trying to figure out how to position your different defensive buildings. And so hopefully that's helpful to you, right, Klaus?
That's right. That's right. So many tips and tricks, things you can learn from these pros every single day as we go along for these next 6 days. This was the first of 7. So we're going to be showing off One Hive CWL Clan War Leagues Season 2 going forward here in studio. So be sure and tune in for that. It's going to be an absolute blast. Some of the best and most advanced tactics that you could ever find in the world. Over exaggeration. on purpose. Woody, it was an absolute blast casting with you today, my friend.
Absolutely, once again. And just want to remind everyone out there that if they're interested in learning more about the Clash of Clans Clan War Leagues or about any of the future broadcasts that we have planned, make sure to head over to Clash of Clans on Twitter, where we have a second poll for you here today to try to vote on. If you retweet this poll, you got a chance at winning 2,000 gems, and you also have an opportunity to decide which troop is going to be the next to benefit from a reduced cost event. The 4 options that you have to choose from are, what did we say, the Valkyrie, the Lava Hound, the Miner, and what was the 4th one there, Klaus? Can you remember?
We made a big deal out of those 3. I don't remember the 4th now.
Whatever it was.
It was on the screen.
If you want to vote for it, then go ahead and vote for it at Clash of Clans. And Witch, I'm being told now. Thank you very much. Voices in my ear. The Witch is the 4th option. So if you like the Witch, go vote for the Witch. We won't forget her if you vote for her. But nevertheless, that's going to do it for us today. Thank you very much for tuning in, guys. Klaus, it's been an absolute pleasure, just like you said, in casting alongside you. I look forward to being back here once again very soon. Tomorrow, in fact, at 6 p.m. Central European time. Tune in for the 2nd day of this War One Hive, one of the greatest clans, best attackers, and strongest bases you're going to see in all of Clash of Clans are going to be engaging with another foe to try to come out ahead once again.
That's right. Well said, Woody. We will see you all again next time for more Clan War Leagues.
Goodbye.
Take care, guys.
What's up, guys? My name is Scorpion, your host, and welcome to an updated version of the history of One Hive, how everything started. I'm going to try and keep the video short, sweet, and straight to the point. And also a massive shout out to Jake. What up, Jake? Some awesome clips playing in the background from Season 1, Season 3 finals, and also the Supercell Clan War Leagues from Season 1. One Hive was formed by a group of guys. 2 of those guys were Deathwish and Scarecrow. They were originally from a clan called Buffalo Raiders, and right around the time that Clan Wars were introduced into the game, they wanted to create that new hardcore war clan. And instantly One Hive was created, and on the day the clan was created, the clan rose to 30 plus members. There came a point in which 1.0 was nearly unbeatable. After 100 wars, they had their first ever loss. The attacks that One Hive was doing back then was 1 step, 2 steps above everyone else. And during this time period, a sister clan was created. That was One Hive 2.0, and very quickly became a very strong force in the competitive war scene also. Over the years, there's been quite a few leaders of One Hive, that being Lapel, Pero, Suze, Hell on Heels, became the One Hive Prime leader in January 2017, and then became One Hive leader in October 2017. The clan family has grown quite a bit over the years. We have the Highlanders, which is run by Lord Byron, a sister clan to One Hive. We have One Hive Prime, which is run by myself. One Hive 2.0, which is run by Neon Waves. And as mentioned before, One Hive is run by Susan Hell on Heels. And of course, all clans have their own leadership teams, and we all work together. Moving into the competitive war scene, One Hive competes in CWL, Champions War League, CWL Invite. CWL Final 1, we made the final against Dark Looters. We finished 2nd on percentage. CWL Season 3 Final versus Fake WMG. Again, we came so close to winning, we lost by 2 stars. We were Season 1 Clash Cup League champions, a media organised event against the best clans in Clash. One Hive's war record, 594 wars, 479 of those being victories, 110 losses and 5 draws. What makes One Hive different to every other clan out there? We've had so many great highs over the years. Also, One Hive being a high profile clan, we've had a lot of down points. But what keeps us together is our name, One Hive. We're family, we're one, we pull together, and we're the best. We're very professional how we run the clan, and our family clans, we have a strong recruitment process which trains our recruits all the way up to our ward generals, team managers, coaches to leadership and all the roles in between. We're media friendly with YouTube channels, streamers. Twitch media has always been our strong point. One Hive now moves into a very exciting period with the introduction of Clan War Leagues. One Hive is super excited to be a part of this new league. I have some replays playing in the background from Season 1. One OneHive went undefeated, winning all 7 wars, and we know there are huge challenges in Beyond 3 and beyond, and we're really looking forward to the future. I hope you guys have enjoyed this short but sweet video on the history of OneHive from the past to present, and please be sure to leave a comment down below. Peace out, guys.